ततो जयो मुनिरहे
अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भगवते उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
When you give the link nama adv ... that will not take anywhere. That becomes part of the link. Be careful. Somebody just put star and that has become, that will not work. Okay. Yeah. That is for the advanced class. My ADV. ADV is for the advanced. Okay. Hey, thank you. By your link, I went to shloka. Please be take careful. Mic is there. Keep it muted. Unmute when you have something to speak. Otherwise, keep it muted. Vastuno mridu kathinya. Vastuno mridu kathinya. Labhu guru oshna sitatam. Jigrikshata tannirbhinna. Tasyam roma mahiruha. Mridukatenya. Guru ushna sitata. Jigrakshatas tvannirbhinna. Tasyam roma mahiruha. Vastuno mridukatenya. Laghu guru oshna sitata. Jigrashatas tvannirbhinna. Tasyam roma mahiruha. Okay, two more lines are there. Tatra chantar bahivata. Tvachalavda guno vrataha. Vastuno mridukatenya. Laghu guru oshna sitata. Jigrakshatas tvannirbhinna. Tasyam roma mahiruha. Tatra chantara bahirvata. Tvachalabda guno vrataha. Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams. Vastuno mridu katinya laghu grau oshna shitatam jigrikshata stvam nirbhinna tasyam roma mahiruha tatra chantar bahirvatas tvacha labdha gunorataha.
Thank you, Mother. Aishwarya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Vastuno mridu katinya lagu gurvoshana sitatam jikrashtas vanirpinna tasyam roma mahiruha tatra chantar bahirvatas tvacha labda guno vrataha.
Very good. Anybody now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vastuno mridu kantinya lagu gurvoshna shitatam jigrakshatastvan nirbinna tasyam roma mahiruha tatra chantar bahirvatas tvacha labdha guno vrataha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी दंडवत प्रणाम वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्य लघु गुर्व ओष्ण शीतताम जिग्रशतस्पतावन निर्भिन्ना तस्याम रोम महीरुहा तत्र चंतर बहिर्वातस त्वचा लब्धा गुणो व्रतः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्या लघु गुर्वोसना स्थितां जिघ्रक्षतास्त्वं निर्भन्ना तस्यां रोमा निरुहा तत्र चान्ता बहिर्हर्वस्तवाच वचा लब्धा गुणो वृथा. हरे कृष्ण गुरुजी.
प्रभुजी. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्या लघु गुर्वोष्ण सिततां निर्भिन्ना तस्यां रोमा महीरुहा तत्र चान्तर्बहिर्वातनो व्रतः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभुजी. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्या लघु गुर्वोष्ण शीततां जिगृक्षत्स्त्वन् निर्भिन्ना तस्यां रोम महीरुहा तत्र चान्तर्बहिर्वातस्त्वचा लब्ध गुणो वृतः. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्यल लघु गुर्वोष्ण शीततां जिघ्रष्टस्त्वंग निर्भिन्ना तस्यां रोम महीरुहा तत्र चान्तर बहिर्वातस त्वचा लब्ध गुणो व्रतः. हरे कृष्णा.
Yes. Hare
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Vastuno mridu kathyana lagu gurva osna sitatam jigrikrastastavan nirbina tasyam roma mahiruha tatra chantar bahirvatsa taucha labda guno vrata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्या लघु गुर्व ओषना शीततां जिघ्रक्षता सत्वान् निर्भिन्ना तस्यां रोमा महीरुहा तत्र चान्तर्बहिर्वातस्त्वचा लब्धा गुणो वृतः. हरे कृष्णा प्रभुजी.
Hare Krishna. Hey.
Okay. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. वस्तुनो मृदु काठिन्या लघु गुर्वोष्ण शीततां जिघ्रक्षतस्त्वन् निर्भिन्ना तस्यां रोम महीरुहा तत्र चान्तर्बहिर्वातस्त्वचा लब्धा गुणो वृतः.
Vastunaha, of all matter. Mridu, softness. Katinya, hardness. Laghu, lightness, Guru, heaviness, Oshna, warmness, Shitata, coldness, Jagrikshataha, desiring to perceive, Twak, the touch sensation, Nirbhinna, distributed, Tasya, in the skin, Roma, hairs on the body, Mahiruhaha, as well as the trees, the controlling deity, Tatra, there, Cha, also, Antaha, within, Bahihi, outside, Vataha Tvacha, the sense of touch or the skin, Labdha, having a percept, Gunaha, objects of sense perception, Vrtaha, generated. Whenever the desire to perceive the physical characteristics of matter, such as softness, hardness, warmth, cold, lightness, heaviness, the background of sensation, the skin pore, the hairs in the body, and the controlling deity, the trees, were generated. Within and outside the skin is the covering of the air, though through which sense perception became prominent. When there was a desire to perceive the physical characteristics of matter, such as softness, hardness, warmth, cold, lightness, and heaviness. The background of sensation, the skin pores, the hairs on the body, and the controlling deity, the trees were generated. Within and outside the skin is a covering of air through which sense perception became prominent. Purport. Yes, who wants to read? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The physical characteristics of matter, such as softness, are subjects of sense perception, and thus physical knowledge is the subject matter of the touch sensation. One can measure the temperature of matter by touching with the hand, and one can measure the weight of an object by lifting it with the hand, and thus estimate its heaviness or lightness. The skin, the skin pores and the hairs on the body are all interdependent with the touch sensation. The air blowing within and outside the skin is also an object of sense perception. This sense perception is also a source of knowledge, and therefore it is suggested here that physical or physiological knowledge is subordinate to the knowledge of the self, as above mentioned. Knowledge of self can expand to the knowledge of phenomena, but physical knowledge cannot lead to knowledge of the self. There is, however, an intimate relation between the hairs on the body and the vegetation on the body of the earth. The vegetables are nourishment for the skin, both as food and medicine, as stated in the third canto. Prabhuji, you'll need to help me with that.
Tvacham asya venirabhinnam
Tvacham
vivishur
asya vinirbhinnam
vivishur
vivishur
Vishnam
dishnam
aushadhihi.
aushadahi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunavadi Ashad Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vastu no mridu katenya. Laghu guru oshna sitatam. Jigrakshatastvan nirbhinna. Tasyam roma mahiruha. Tatra chantara bahirvata. Tvachalabda guno vritaha. When there is a desire to perceive the physical characteristics of matter, such as softness, hardness, warmth, cold, lightness, and heaviness, the background of sensation, the skin pores, the hairs in the body, and the controlling the trees are generated. With an outside skin is the covering of the air through which sense perception become prominent. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयो नव एवते आदि अंतवन्तः कौन्तेया अतेषु रमते बुधः. Bhagavad Gita continues on this point. The pleasure that we get by contact or the samsparsha, sense object with the senses, dukkhayo naivet, it only gives you pain. We anticipate daily great pleasure in any material situation. I want to hear beautiful music, and I hear beautiful music. I want to see beautiful forms, and I see beautiful forms. And I want to smell nice scents, and I smell nice scents. I want to taste nice food stuff, and I taste nice food stuff. I want to touch something very comfortable and soft, and I touch comfortable. So these are the senses demanding sense enjoyment. And anybody reasonably assumes that this interaction is going to give me happiness. Yeah? But actually, it gives you pain. And this information you take from Krishna. It will never be, that's called the benefit of hearing. When you want to learn things by your experience and you want to learn by hearing, there is a very big difference. Learning by experience is the business of animals. Learning by hearing is the business of human life. Now we may have to waste millions of lives to get this knowledge. That my moment I look in this world, but the desire for enjoyment, Maya makes an ass out of me. And one of the things is this. And we get totally, see why it is pain. Now meditate on this. What's wrong? I want to see beautiful forms. I see beautiful gardens. I see beautiful women. What's wrong? You get entangled. Karmatmakam yena sharira bandhaha. Just like you drink liquor, you get addicted to liquor. Correct? So no enjoyment in the world comes without a problem. Always enjoyment comes with a responsibility. Just like if we want to enjoy sex, get married. But people don't want to do that today. No, you have to accept responsibility. Then now bother, take the botheration of the wife, take her to hospital, the child, take him to hospital. Till 5 years, the child will always, every day you have to run to hospital, any day, problem, run. I have so many problems. So it looks enjoyment per se. What's wrong? You know, somebody wants to become grihastha proposition is very good, but you should know the problem. Better remain brahmachari. We have to think of all that. We say, oh, it will be so nice. I will have a devoted wife and I will be so nice. Very good. Just think about not only that aspect, all the problems also. And you want to enjoy, accept the responsibility and those problems. Otherwise, it is today sinful. Like boy and a girl get together, and the last thing a boy wants to hear, girl is pregnant, girlfriend is pregnant, and that's a disaster for him because he wanted to enjoy without responsibility. He doesn't want the responsibility now. Like people say, sex is natural. Yes, sex is natural, but the condoms don't grow on the tree. Natural result of sex is a child. Then say, why we have to get married? It is natural for the child to accept parents are living together with a committed relationship. It's a natural for him. Child will not be able to understand why father is not coming home. Right? He accepts. There was in a court a ruling, I quoted many times. So it was Calcutta High Court. So mother and father were divorcing. Final arguments are going on. So child was brought that day to the court. He saw the father. Papa, why are you not coming home nowadays? Because they are separated. Father is not coming home. And father is crying. Mother is crying. And judge was shouting, what is this, Look at what you're making the child go through. You are okay, I like, I dislike. What about the responsibility you take now? Natural for the child to accept the father and mother are living in a committed relationship, correct? So people say, isn't sex natural? Yeah. But natural result of sex is a child. Because condoms don't go on the trees. That is unnatural. And natural for the child to accept father and mother are living in a committed relationship. Therefore, now girlfriend business is gone. In natural, this business is not correct. Unnatural. So sweet. So similarly, all this is the king of all the enjoyment is sex life. All the enjoyment are like this. You get addicted. You liquor, you enjoy, then you get addicted. Karmatkam yena sharira bandha. So then one comes to the standard of Mayavadis. They understand that actually the enjoyment in this world is entangled. Therefore, when some Mayavadis, not all are like that. So Mayavadis take class, the strict ones, and they will not allow women to even enter that hall. Because for them, Maya is very dangerous. Maya is my enemy. But a devotee doesn't have that. Because whenever he sees everything, he's seeing in connection to Krishna. He's not scared. His senses become like they eat food, they can't eat. You give them halwa to a Mayavadi, he cannot eat. But Maya, I'll get addicted to eating this. What they do, you give them halwa, you give them curd, you give them sabji, you give them chutney, right? They'll mix everything together. The taste should not be there. Taste is there, I get attracted. So any variety of the world, they know the variety of the world. This much the Mayavadis understand. The variety of the world is actually a trap by Maya. The variety of the world has no meaning. Just like somebody is white, somebody is black, somebody is blue in this world. It is nothing, no? It's just a combination of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and chemicals. Like you take mud and you can make different kind of things. But what is the meaning of the variety? And this is looking good, this is looking bad, blue eyes, green eyes, white eyes. People are mad. You know what? It's just a combination of chemicals. But the spiritual form, the spiritual variety is not combination of chemicals. It is Sachidananda and eternal. But the forms in this world are imitating the spiritual forms, and therefore we feel they're attractive, like a mannequin in a shop. It has not much meaning. Suppose somebody falls in love with a mannequin in a shop, you'll say he's madman. Ye pagal hai, isn't it? So similarly, getting attached, attracted, and mad after certain forms, even doing crime to embrace that form, position. Pagal hai, crazy. For a self-realized soul is madness. But you have to rise to this platform by mercy of Krishna, by strict platform of sadhana. We should be. That's why when you do japa, the minimum, everything should have a target. That's explaining in the morning. Just like when you wash your clothes, what's the target? Clothes should look clean and smell should not be there. Suppose you wear your t-shirt and after washing and before wearing, it is stinking. You'll throw it again for washing. So the washing has a target. What is the target? So similarly, every day japa should have a target. What at least Sattva-guna. At least Sattva-guna. Mind is calm, peaceful. That means washing is done, no? अब उसके बाद भी stain है. अरे Krishna Bhakti आएगा, Radha Krishna will dance on your tongue. That is okay. Wait. At least tongue को साफ तो कर दो ना. वो dance करे ना करे वो तो बाद में देखेंगे. At least clean your tongue. We do that or not? The same way, at least clean your mind to the level that you are the proper said always, spiritual life, balance should be in Sattva-guna. If it is not in Sattva-guna, it's an emergency and a crisis. You should immediately take help. Because Rajoguna means any day Rajoguna will become Tamoguna. So we should keep ourselves in Sattva-guna if you want to be serious in spiritual life. Don't allow your mind, because Rajoguna is like a via media, moderation. Thoda. Little is okay. Little. One movie, only 5 minutes I'll watch. Little. I'm not watching, man. Trailer only I'm watching. Little is okay. I'll drink. I'm not drinking. I'll take only half a glass. So in this world, moderation is proposed as a solution. It's not a solution. Moderation of sin is not done. Moderation in Bhagavad Gita is a yuktahara viharasya. That is for eating and sleeping, not for sin. But people extend it that our recreation also, hana recreation, Moderation. So people bring all sinful activities. No sinful activities should be moderated. It's always a poison. So therefore, a devotee, when he looks at the word, he is not scared because he knows this question was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his mother, and mother answered him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting outside the house and he was eating mud. So mother said, "My dear child, why don't you eat food? What's the difference? This is also food. Mud say you make food. Food is also mud at the end of the day. Finally, food is from the mud only. No, in the mud, from the mud only food comes. So I eat mud, I eat food. What is the difference?" But she says, no, there's a difference in utility. Like a potter makes water pot. Same potter can make with that a gamla in which you put plants. The same potter can also make a donation box. They have the hundi also made of. You can make, but the utility is different. So similarly, in this world, this variety has no meaning. But for a devotee, it has a meaning because you're going to utilize it in a different way. Now, your variety has no meaning, but I'm decorating Krishna. Why you're decorating? Therefore, most of the temples are run by Mayavadis. They don't decorate the deities. What is the decoration? Just
Hare Krishna. I think some connection problem. Hope Prabhu will come back soon.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You know,
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
what had happened, the power had
Prabhuji, the battery was low. I was trying to convey through chat.
You should have told me, no, hey, why you
But
should.
I was not able to unmute.
Chalo.
I have put the link in chat.
You can, no problem. So we are back now. I'll continue. Till where I stopped, Heth? What was the last word I said? I opened my eyes, the screen was blank. And then,
But the utility is different, you were saying, Prabhuji.
Yes.
yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sachimata. See what happens actually. See the devotee. Because of
पानी दे यार
Abba. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. Janayati as Vairagyam Jnanam Chata Hetukam. So Sachimata broke the Mayavada philosophy. She says that no, Prabhupada points out there, she is very intelligent. Devotee is not a fool. She gives the answer. Utility is different. So similarly, we are decorating the deity. Now Mayavadi will feel this all matter. Variety in the word has no meaning. No utility now. For purpose of Krishna, it takes a meaning. For serving Krishna, it decorates not that I could be dressed also. No. Then you don't serve the deities. You should have the sense to decorate the Lord. And now the variety takes a meaning. It becomes useful. You're serving the Lord, you're cooking, kujuvanada, rice, sabji, dal. No. People will say, I'm serving Krishna. Rajbhoga means 20 items. Why am I making 4 items? I should make 20 items. Today it is 20 items. Today it is many items. Sunday, we are having a nice program. You can come for lunch if possible. We are having nice feast of Sunday. We just started. We'll have one program on Sunday, 10 to 1. Night is not possible because we're having our classes. Morning with this, they can have. I told Shisha, now this time he can come because how many devotees are already there. So variety, now try to understand this concept today. The variety has a meaning. It's service to Krishna. You're offering a flower to Krishna. Now that variety becomes spiritual because being offered to Krishna. Nahi, kuch bhi fool dalo, material variety, no meaning. It has a meaning now. Try to understand this. It has a meaning. You're decorating the Lord. You're making temple of the Lord. It should be beautiful. No, it's something one hall. No, it should be. For Krishna it is. That variety takes a spiritual dimension. As far as it is practical, you should have a spiritual dimension. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukha yonava evat. Otherwise, the variety for your enjoyment. Adi anta. So therefore, in looking in the world, it is beautiful. What sense you are looking at? You are looking for service to Krishna. Then even though the variety may be beautiful or ugly, it doesn't bite you. It doesn't disturb you. It's like looking for the Lord, or you are offering some dress to the Lord. It doesn't disturb you. It's like a normal karmi is scared of a flower. A Mayavadi is scared. Karmi means he takes a flower, enjoys and runs away. The Mayavadi sees the flower, wow, dangerous. The beautiful smell of the flower, the beauty of the flower may attract me to Maya. A devotee looks at the flower, a beautiful flower in connection to not his enjoyment, the Lord's enjoyment. That beauty doesn't disturb him because it is offered for the Lord's pleasure. And that flower, then he can smell also after that. He can also enjoy and connection to the Lord, not as a bhogi. Just like prasadam. It always says, I'm doing prasadam seva. Correct? I'm serving the prasadam. Seva unmukhe jivado swayame muskuradeva. The devotee looks at this world, the whole world he offers to Krishna. He looks at it as belonging to Krishna. The world doesn't disturb him. So yehi samsvashya bhoga dukkha yonava evate adi antavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Apart from this shloka, there were so many wonderful things. Let me take it up. Was talking about skin. Let us read Srila Prabhupada's purport. So having a lot of vegetables will make your skin good. Now the people are very conscious. My skin should glow. They spend a lot of money also on it. Don't have to do all those things. Naturally, if you take a lot of vegetables, your skin will be bright. Okay, if you are interested in them. Desired, perceived physical matter, softness, hardness, warmth, cold, lightness, heaviness, background of sensation, skin pores, hairs in the body, and controlling deity, the trees. For everything, there is a controlling deity. For the skin is the trees. So plants and trees, you have a lot of vegetables, your skin will glow. Okay? Within and outside the skin is the covering of air, so which sense perception become prominent. Okay? Physical matter such as softness of sense perception, a physical knowledge subject matter of touch sensation. And touch sensation is not odd. It can not only know the warmth of object, it can also know the weight of the object. Right? So it can feel. The skin, you may not without lifting also, you can know, yes, it is heavy. The skin pores, the hairs of the body are all interdependent with the touch sensation. The air blowing within and outside skin is also object of sense perception. This sense perception is also source of knowledge. And therefore, it is suggested here that physical and physical knowledge is subordinate to the knowledge of the self. So, knowledge of self can expand the knowledge. So, we are studying bhagavatam. It also has the knowledge of matter. It also has the knowledge of the soul. Prominently, bhagavatam is talking about the Lord. But knowledge of the self and super self, the Lord, includes knowledge of matter. So, in studying bhagavatam or Gita, not only you know about God, you also know about this world. But people are studying this world only, like these modern so-called institutions, so-called centers of knowledge. There is no information about God given. Correct? When I know God, tasmin jnanartam, if you know God, you know everything. Just like Srila Prabhupada was going all around the world, talking even to big philosophers, scientists. He could speak stronger to everyone because he said, I know Krishna, therefore I know everything. But when you do not know, you may study only matter and you may not know anything more. You may not know God. You're not, actually, one thing you're not studying properly. Because any direction of study you take, at the end, God comes. Any direction, any field of study, any direction you look also, at the end is God. Because what is any direction you go, you will cross the covering of the universe. Outside Vaikuntha is there, Krishna is there. Any direction you look, at the end there is Krishna. Any direction of study you take, at the end there is Krishna. You study medicine, at the end, super design. It has to be, God has to do it. Now science, they say accidentally, some chaos, random chaos, atheist people like to say that nonsense. But that's not the way devotee looks at it. Devotee looks at this world and he understands. At the end there is Krishna. So that way we should look at it. And then, so knowledge, when you're trying to understand God, God means included within all his energies and included within him. So understand everything together. So knowledge of self can expand to the knowledge of the phenomena. You can extend. But knowledge of the physical knowledge cannot lead to the knowledge of the self. Just the knowledge of, say, grass, sand, doesn't lead to your knowledge of God. That can be independent of God. It can be studied. It should not be studied, but it is generally studied independent of God. There is, however, an intimate relation with the hairs on the body and vegetation on the body of the earth. So Prabhupada has not given you, people are interested. However, you are interested on, everybody interested on the how I'm looking, how bright I'm looking. So vegetable, take more vegetables. People generally don't take vegetables, they eat meat. You take vegetables, skin will glow. The vegetables are nourishing for the skin both as food and as medicine. The new information you got. As said in third canto, Tvacham asya bhinam vivishur dhishnam aushadhihi. This opposite also been given in the third canto, which we'll read later. Okay, now let us have some additional points. Hare Krishna Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Skin and you are supposed to speak on today skin and the vegetables.
Yes, Prabhuji. Also about hair here. It's in the purport. The hair on the universal body of the Lord is called trees, which are there on the planet. So there is intimate relationship between the hair of our body and hair of Lord's universal body. So like also all these proves that our bodily senses interdependent on the universal part of Supreme Lord. We are always we always remain part and parcel of Supreme Lord. And health of our hair depends on the vegetation. But human beings indiscriminately destroy the trees, vegetation on the planet, then that in turn will destroy health of skin. And like the vegetables are nourishment to the skin, both as a food and medicine. Krishna says in 15th chapter, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhuta Praninam Deham Ashitam Prana Pana Samayuktam. No, he says that Pushnami Chaushadim Sarva Soma Bhutva Rasatmaka. He says that I means I become moon and I supply the juice for the vegetables. Pushnami Chaushadi Sarva. He says Soma Bhutva Rasatmakam. The skin diseases are connected like with the vegetables, of course. Means nowadays getting natural vegetables also it has really it has become difficult, because in the name of natural vegetables they are selling organic items. It is nothing but natural, which was available 10-20 years before. It was available as a natural food, and now without chemical means it's organic, and they sell it for double rate, the same organic food. Natural means the vegetables are all infested with chemicals. So natural vegetables they are selling in the name of organic. So the connect to the hair, skin, and skin pores. This vegetables means and depend on touch sensation also. So actually these people are gone cutting the trees, and so they now after cutting the trees, now they got the result of that, and they named it as global warming, and the carbon dioxide is increasing everywhere. But now they are realizing how to this one the oxygen. They realize that we have to plant the trees again now. Now they need green, so they plant actually whatever tree they want they plant. But we should plant there in trees. Means what they don't understand that trees are also living entities. Some trees are like some plants are pious trees and some plants are useless. So we should plant like fruits and flower, this one the trees or the fruit trees we have to plant. And also Krishna says that I am ashwatha tree. So ashwatha tree, it gives lots of oxygens, but they don't know that like if we see now we are actually there are so many people, means there poor people are there. Why not put so many fruit trees? Then anybody can pluck anywhere, and they can eat the fruit trees. If abundantly if we plant fruit trees, then there may not be hunger, and the poor can also, there is means where is the question of hunger? So it's planting the trees abundantly wherever and everywhere, means that is necessary actually to put that, and it is a nourishment to the body also. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, very correct point. Srila Prabhupada many times mentions this. Planting the fruit trees should be done more. Generally, they grow trees for timber, which is a big business and big smuggling business, but they don't put fruit trees.
Yes,
When the trees on the roadside, they don't put fruit trees, they put timber trees, because then they suddenly one tree will disappear, 50,000 made money. Fruit trees are different, the focus is different, correct? So you can always collect fruits, and nobody will starve them. Have 100 mangoes, who will starve with that? They can eat some. Even a poor man can go in any corner of the street, fruit trees. It means we should encourage putting fruit trees instead of putting timber trees. Okay, yes, Mataji. At least you remain to the topic. I went to some other topic. Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Aishwarya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, the skin body should be used for Krishna service, and it should not be used only for Aharam Nitra, Bhayam Maithujancha. And Prabhupada says this body is for tapasya, and for devotee association, we can touch a deity and make garlands and do a lot of service with our body, pay obeisances. And Guru Maharaj says, if you use this body for a sense gratification, then it's like breaking the peanut shell with a shalagram shila. So a person who don't know the value of shalagram shila, even he has it, he use it to break the peanut shell. That means he want to eat the peanut inside the shell with and breaking it with the shalagram shila. So it's like we use our body for our sense gratification, then it's like the wrong use of that body. And if you use it for Krishna service, that's the right use. And Prabhupada says always we should not see, like men should not see women as Maya, and women should not see men as Maya. But if devotees, if they could serve Krishna together, then there's so many grihasthas in Mahaprabhu's association. Like even being in grihastha life, we can reach our goal, Krishna Prem, by serving together, keeping Krishna in our center. And yes, about the trees, Prabhupada says the trees should be cut only to make papers, which can, which the Vedic literatures are printed, like Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Just cutting trees for sense gratification is not the right way. And he says about Yukta Vairagya, where everything should be used for Krishna service. Even a microphone can be used for Krishna service. All become Krishnatized. And Prabhuji, it's Madhvacharya disappearance day today.
Okay.
So,
Okay, Mataji, I'll speak on it. So,
yeah.
Madhvacharya, I'll just speak a little, 5 minutes, is our Acharya in our parampara. We come in a Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. It is in the previous slide, Madhvacharya is, I have a presentation on it. In the previous slide, Madhvacharya is Hanuman. So, here it is. I hope till it comes. I don't know, yesterday also it didn't come even though, because it has to download. Yeah, it has come. So just few pictures. Okay, good. Life of Madhvacharya. Here is Madhvacharya, in the previous life Hanuman, and then Bhima, and then Madhvacharya. This is from the Shastra actually. This evidence is there from the Shastra. The Vayu will take 3 incarnations to assist the Lord in his service, just like, Brahma is a great devotee, even Vayu is a great devotee of the Lord. And he takes 3 incarnations. One he takes, just sort of Pavandaputra Hanuman. One incarnation he takes as Hanuman, one as Bhima, and one as Madhvacharya. In Hanuman he assisted Lord Rama. In Bhima he assisted Lord Krishna. In Madhvacharya he assisted Vedavyasa. Because Vedavyasa's teachings are totally being misunderstood. Therefore Madhvacharya came to assist him in the teaching. And this is the 3 incarnations which are very famous. And Madhvacharya is definitely known for his various activities. I can just tell you his life in a brief. His father name was Madhyageya, if I remember correctly, and one more name of his wife. And he was born in a place, Pajika Kshetra. When you come to Mangalore, all of you plan, please. We will start pilgrimages now, or we won't wait, Dr. Ji, some more time. Temple is open now. There is definitely a bit of risk, but everybody is open. And next thing is that pilgrimages also, we can go to place like Pajika. We can plan some date, you all can come. Pajika is the Madhvacharya's birthplace. And at that place, we have various miracles done by Madhvacharya. So his father was a great devotee and used to go to the temples. Udupi temple, Krishna temple was not there previously. Other 2 temples were there. And he used to pay respects to the deities and every day pray. He was a great Vaishnava. And then finally Madhvacharya was born, and his first name was Vasudeva. And in the Pajika Kshetra, there are places where the Parashuram, one of the places Parashuram came after throwing his weapons is Pajika. And he threw his 4 weapons, that Khadaga, the Khadaga was the main weapon by which he was killing people, and his bow, arrow, Gada. So each of the weapon, because it was spiritual, whenever they fell, then it became Tirtha. So therefore all the 4, Dhanush Tirtha, Bana Tirtha, Gada Tirtha, these Tirthas are there in that place. So people going there, Madhvacharya used to every day go to all the 4 places and take bath. That's like purification. Because Tirtha you go, it's purification. And mother was very worried because they're not nearby. They're a bit far away here and there, running small child. So his mother, so he said, okay. So he took a stick and put in the ground, and that became a Tirtha called Vasudeva Tirtha. Even now it is there. And it's like a mystical from where the water comes. So because he is in this position as a great powerful devotee of the Lord, and also as a Vayu, he can do these all small things for him. It became Tirtha, first Kunda he created. Then after that, once he was on the top of a hill, and his mother called him. Oh, even before that, when he was born, his father was teaching him to write. That stone is still there. So father told him, say A, B, C, D in Sanskrit. He's teaching. So next day he repeated. Oh, you're repeating, father? Yesterday you taught my learn. He was surprised. I have such a wonderful child. In one day he learned. So it's going very fast and very excited. Today, to this day, people, Akshara they do. First time they teach a child to write, people go there to teach. They do a ceremony there and Pachika. And also the next thing situation happens there is that one day he was a small child and his mission is to correct the people who are teaching things which are not taught by Vedavyasa. So that's here is the Pauranika. Pauranika means narrates the pastimes of the Puranas. And people are sitting and enjoying hearing. He gave a Mayavad explanation. So immediately a small child, hey Pauranika, you're speaking wrong. This is not what Vedavyasa said. And he corrected him. Everybody is shocked. A small child on the lap of his mother is correcting a Puranika. And then later, what happens? Madhvacharyas. Anyway, this will come later, Vedavyasa's meeting. So Madhvacharya there grows up, he's 11-year-old. He decides to take sannyas. 11-year-old. So at that time, he decides to take sannyasa and guru from somebody whose name is Achyuta Preksha. Achyuta Preksha was also a Vaishnava, great Vaishnava. But at that time, the Shankara Tattva was so strongly present, even Vaishnavas getting confused hearing. It was everywhere Mayavada. Even Vaishnavas hearing, getting confused. So he used to pray to the Lord, I'm really confused, my Lord, by this Mayavada. Send me somebody to help me. Krishna decided to help me by a disciple. That's interesting. Only Guru, but Guru came as a disciple rather. So Madhvacharya is not exactly a disciple of Achyuta Preksha, rather is Guru. I tell you what happened, you will understand. So anyway, he decided, he fell at the feet of Achyuta Preksha, said, give me sannyas. And then his father came to know his son wants to take sannyasa from Achyuta Preksha. Father was very sad. The father came to meet him and paid obeisance. My dear father pays obeisance only when son has become sannyasi. So already accepted. He said, oh my God. Then he says, we got you after so long time. And you are going away. We didn't have a child. We got you. And then you are taking sannyas. Okay, my father, I'll take sannyas when you have the second child. Then he says, your mother should give permission. Okay, done. I'll only take sannyas after mother gives permission and you have a second child. So very soon he had a next year a child. He delayed his sannyas for 1 year. And then permission, he went to his mother. Something he mother went on a spell. So you are giving me permission, I'm taking sannyas. She said, huh? He can do anything. Mother was like mesmerized or hypnotized. He could not do anything. And he got his permission. I ran him out of the house. Took sannyas. He delayed sannyas for 1 year. I think 11 or 12 he took sannyas. And then he went to the Guru's ashram. Now he has to deliver his Guru. Reverse. Generally, Guru delivers the disciple, here is deliver his Guru. So at home, there are more miracles there. At Pachaka, there was a huge demon, like Maniman or somebody, who had actually came in this birth also to attack Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya flew from the mountain outward and stamped the stone and it broke the stone. That place is still preserved and still made that. He killed a huge demon who had come in the shape of python to kill him, and he broke the stone to kill him just by his leg. Small child cannot hit a stone to break the stone. There is once his mother said, my dear child, come, father is waiting for lunch. He was in a nearby a mountain called Vimanagiri, where Devi temple is there. He flew from there and fell there, and the 2 steps are still there on the ground, which are worshipped there. There are so many miracles if you go to the house of miracles called Pachaka. Once what happened? Very interesting. I want to spread Krishna Bhakti all around the world, my dear father. Father said, what? Nobody interested in God. This has never happened. It is as impossible as a stick in your hand becoming a tree. He said, really? You want a test? He took the small stick in his hand, which is a dry stick like a danda, put in the ground, a tree came out. To this day, devotees go to that tree because they know blessings of Madhvacharya, Krishna Bhakti is spreading all around. The tree signifies Krishna Bhakti will spread all around the world. There were many ISKCON devotees go and do big kirtan below the tree. Because at the end of the day, he is our guru. He's an Guru Parampara, he's our Acharya. The great devotee. And then there is more miracles. Leave it to Pajaka Kshetra. When you go there, we will show you. So then what happens when he becomes the disciple of Achyuta Preksha? So Achyuta Preksha one day opens the book, and the book is actually Mayavada book. He was so confused. He was even reading Mayavada. Mayavada books means, I am God, you are God, everybody is God. So he opens the book and he reads the invocation, first paragraph. And Madhacharya raises his hand, find 100 faults in that one paragraph. Every word is a mistake. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is also wrong. This is also wrong. This is also wrong. He closes the book and sits down, and he could not answer because he is a knowledgeable person of knowledge. And then what happened? Gurukul almost closes because Guru can't speak now. The disciple have found fault with every word that is. So nothing is happening. Pathshala is almost closed. So now what to do? He didn't make any mistake. So one day Guru was taking bath in a well they take bath even today. He goes and falls a fit to the Guru. He said, please forgive me for the mistake which I didn't commit. I didn't commit any mistake, but I have offended you, so forgive me. So Guru then starts, Chalo, Bhagavatam. So the next day opens Bhagavatam and start teaching Bhagavatam. Then what happens? That the Bhagavatam at that time is written on a leaf, and it's not written like printing today. So handwriting means sometimes mistake can happen, one comma extra, some halan. So two people had a different reading. So it was a confusion there, which is the correct reading. So Madhacharya said, no, that is the correct reading. So the Guru was really irritated. So how do you know? I said, I know. Okay, you know, then recite fifth canto. Fifth canto of Bhagavatam is in prose, is not easy to remember. You can remember other cantos, not easy. Bhagavatam 18,000 shloka, people struggle to remember 700 shloka, 18,000 shloka. He said, I know all the 18,000 shloka. And I also know which is the correct because of that. So the fifth canto, please recite. He recited the whole fifth canto without looking. Now Guru knew him. Now this guy is special. Then very soon he installs him as the next guru, and that's why slowly Madhvacharya takes the name of Madhvacharya. I think he gives a sannyasa name Purna Pragna. He knows everything. And vigorously Madhvacharya travels all around India. He travels to different places. Many big scholars of Shankara's followers come to meet him, sometimes for many days, and he establishes Krishna Bhakti to all of them, makes them Vaishnavas. Very, very powerful Acharya. And generally he avoids to show his power because he is also the Hanuman or Bhima. But sometime in emergency he does show. There was one time he was walking over some river. A river was there, and across the river was a king, and he was engaging people in working, making, digging and whatever, people engaging people. So he took his disciples, walked over the water. He can do that, Pavanputra. And he reached there, the king was engaging people to work. So by his mesmerizing, he put the hala on the king was doing it and he walked away. He can do all those things. Sometimes he was going with the disciples to meet. His real guru was Vedavyasa. He came to assist him. Many times he went to meet Vedavyasa. So he was going to meet Vedavyasa with the disciples. And on the way, a tiger came to attack his disciple, attack him. Suddenly he got a slap from somewhere. That is Madhvacharya. Giving a slap means slap. He flew in the air, the tiger, and he walked. He was always holding himself, but he had all the power. Now, problem is a powerful man in the role of a guru. So he has the powers like Bhima, Hanuman. At the same time, he's now playing the role of an acharya, doing service. He does a service too. So devotee doesn't mean that he doesn't have knowledge. It's all the knowledge. In fact, when Hanuman went to meet Ravana, the very reason he sat in the assembly on his tail was to talk to Ravana. He's an extremely intelligent person, wanted to counsel him if he can get some sense, but he didn't get any sense. That's separate. So he is full knowledge. Devotee has all the knowledge. Not that devotee doesn't have knowledge. Something he is powerful. No, he has all the knowledge also. So he goes to meet Vedavyasa there. On the way this happened. And when he meets Vedavyasa, the Vedavyasa is sitting in a big assembly. And all the great citizens of the universe are there. You cannot see them. But Vedavyasa is also not visible to people. But Vedavyasa and Chiranjeevi are there at Badrika Ashram. If you're qualified, you can meet him. So Madhvacharya could talk to him. Not only that, he introduced him to the whole assembly of great sages. And then he read his Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, what he has done. Vedavyasa said, yes, that's good, very nice, wonderful. There you can add that also. He gave the whole commentation. And there is some very nice improvement. Something he says, I'm doing as for my, little knowledge. He said, no, you're doing as for the people's capacity. You know much more. So he was very happy with his disciple. And then after that, he took him to Darshan Narayan Rishi, and they also blessed him. They also gave him more instruction for service. And then he came back and continued with his mission. And finally, he traveled, and he had one desire to get a deity, which is the original Moola Rama deity, which was actually worshipped before even Lord Rama came as a Rama, Lakshmana. He wanted that deity because he's Hanuman. No? He wanted Lord Rama's deity. So now what to do? The deity is there with the king, because you know what had happened, that there was a Brahmana in the kingdom of Ayodhya. This Brahmana will only have food after he sees Lord Rama. Just like some people have that good practice, that before taking food, they take darshan of the Lord. So if you take darshan Lord Rama, then Lord Rama is himself there. When Lord Rama appeared in his house, the deities are already there. So this story, the Lord worship after Lord came, no, he's already being worshipped. He was known as God. Krishna, Rama are always a Lord. Not that they were appeared, then they became God. Always God. So Lord Rama said, now come, please lock it up. So they put in Almira and locked up the deities of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Then what happened was, one day, Lakshmana said, he's so devoted to you. So when you go out for a long time, he doesn't eat. So Lord Rama knows very soon I'll go for a long time. He will die. So he said, bring those deities, call the Brahmana. He gave it to him. You deserve this deity. No difference between me and this deities. Keep. So he was very happy, the Brahmana. And those deities traveling since the ages, millions of years, were with the king at a particular place. And Madhvacharya wanted the deities. So one of his great disciples, he said, go there, get those deities. So what I should do is to become his Rajaguru, and deities will come to you one day. So he followed the order and he went to that place. He was so learned because being a Madhvacharya disciple, very soon the king accepted him as his guru. The king died. So, when the king died, the prince is the guru, but taken care by management is done by the elders, and the guidance of the Rajguru is trained up. Then he takes up the throne. That is the system. Caretaker will be there, but throne belongs to the prince. Now he is taking care of the child and is training him. So he's his guru, everything. And the child becomes definitely very gratitude to the guru. He says, when he becomes the king again, he said, tell me, what do you want? Give me those deities. He said, how can we give this deity? These are like Tirupati for somebody. They're everything for us. But I cannot say no. I gave my word, take the deities. But every year I'll come to take darshan. So every year those dynasties used to come to take darshan. Then he got the deities, gave to Madhvacharya. He was so happy. And then, Madhvacharya was once in a bank of the ocean. He was sitting and composing some verses in glorification of God. Every moment was composition. Even with the child while playing, he made compositions. Playing with his friend's ball, he made composition. And he continued to do miracles even from children. That was part of his life. So many. I cannot list them. So their books are there, Madhvacharya, life and teachings. So then what happened was he was so suddenly a ship came, and the ship had, there was a wind, the ship will fall. So the captain was in great anxiety. In the ocean, when wind blows, the waves blows, it's very dangerous. So he looks on the coast and he sees one sannyasi sitting. A Madhvacharya is in his eyes closed, composing some verses and glorification. This was Dwadasha Sotra, something was composing. So then what happens? That person cries to Madhvacharya, please save me. The Madhvacharya opens his eyes, sees somebody in trouble. So he takes his chadar, which is there on his neck, he takes it out. His Pavan Putra, the wind stops. Immediately. His power he had. So he's so grateful. So, he puts his anchors his whatever boat to the coast, and he runs to Madhvacharya, falls at his feet. He said, something I can do, Seva. You saved my life and all my business. He said, no, I'm a sannyasi, I don't want anything. He said, you can take the chandan, you're putting tilaka. So I'll give you the tilaka I have. From where? From Gujarat, I got the tilaka. That big stones I have, I use for balancing. You can use for tilaka. It's from He said, okay, thank you. So he goes and he's about to give him on the hand. Tuck it, Brooks, in two hands. This is impossible miracle. The Lord was personally coming in his hand. So Moola Rama came, and when Krishna, important deity, came. This deity is very, very special. It's not an ordinary deity. So the deity he gets, this is from Dwapar Yuga, the deity. When Krishna had shown the Bala Leela, to Devaki once. Devaki requested she wanted to see Bali Leela. So Krishna became like a small child. So all the Krishna's queens also saw. So the Rukmini personally by her hand made this deity. This is not ordinary deity. And deity was finally, that people shifted from Dwarka to land, and Dwarka was put inside water. This deity was also lost. Imagine how the deity has to come in his hand. This is not an accident, it's a miracle. By Krishna's will, he came in the hand of his devotee. He got both Krishna and Balaram. Some people say one more deity he got, which is a 400 Vishnu form. Another place it is installed. So anyway, Krishna Balaram were installed. Balaram was installed right in the coast, and Krishna deity personally took it and installed in the temple where it is still now Udupi Krishna worshipped. So this is more about Madhvacharya. And finally, one day he calls all his disciples, Ashtamatas, all his disciples, and he gives them 8 prominent sannyasis, different responsibilities. You take care of this Moolarama deity. You take care of this deity. You take care of this. You take care of everybody. He gives a responsibility, instruction, and disappears. He didn't have just disappears from there. That place is still there, and opposite to the Udupi temple, that temple where it disappeared is still there. Chandra Mauleshwara temple and Ananteshwara temple. I think in Ananteshwara temple, one of the temples just opposite the one, which is that one. And I will not know the name. So it disappeared. That place is still there. Sanskrit written from here. Madhvacharya disappeared, and he goes there. So nowhere he went to meet Vedavyasa, and whose service he came to this world. That is Madhvacharya small. Here is he. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhuve Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo Nama, Anant Kodi Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai. So take blessing of Madhvacharya today to serve his mission.